Well, good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your metal market wrap up, and this wrap up is for the evening as we're here now on Tuesday, and this is the 9th of December, 2025. Let's take a look at what we have coming up. You can get the Mortgage Bankers Association numbers at 6 in the morning. The third quarter 2025 employment cost data will come out Wednesday at 7:30. The EIA petroleum stocks, but the whole market's going to be looking at one big thing. The Fed announcement at 1. Will we get a 25 basis point cut? The market is priced it fully in. What the Fed chair says and what he alludes to that the Fed may or may not be doing in 2026, although he won't be the man in charge soon. Whoever gets nominated by the president will be backstopping him very quickly. We don't know the date that's happening because President Trump doesn't like to spill the beans too fast. API petroleum stockpiles did come out, and there's a build all the way through. That is not a bullish scenario. When you take a look here, you're trying to figure out what's the impact going to be of a 25 basis point cut. What we know is if they don't get it, the market will break. If they do get it, does the market break because it's anticipated it? Does the market rally because it says, okay, we not only get a 25, but it sounds like there's even more on the horizon coming? That is what you're dealing with. When you look at the bonds and the notes, they came down so much that they've just stalled out now. But you're looking at a 4.17% 10-year note. That is not a little bit. That is still a very strong number. When we look at the gold market, it went up today rather dramatically, but it's still down for the week, 0.09%. The market came back, and I say dramatic in that it had an outside day to the upside, which is impressive in the market. You can see how the market had that right here. So you can take your arrows and you move them over when you have an outside day. Let's make sure we have that. If you look at the high of yesterday, it was 42.47.90, and today's high was 42.51.70. You know you made the lower low. So that's how that's going to look on all of these charts, and that's how you put them. I was looking for the support at the 18-day average of closes. I mentioned that to you yesterday. It's still what I look for. You don't have to hit it. You've come down to it. The question is, which way does it go from here? I like when it hits it because that's the line in the sand. The market often tries to figure out what to do from there. But you can see these markets are looking so far like if you can get follow through from here, that maybe there's a bit more upside. It's certainly not in a swing line trend where you have higher highs and higher lows. I'm making it jump there so you can see that. You have a lower low and a higher high. It is not the ideal setup. The gold-silver ratio is reaching to new lows since I've told you that silver was gaining on gold. And I said it way back here. I said, I think the big trend change has occurred. And I've been right on that. And if you look at silver, all-time high prices. Cash silver went over $60. The futures are what, 61.23 right now. You have a fully embedded reading. You don't have that in gold. That is where the power is. When we look at the copper market, the market got overbought, couldn't embed, and it's putting on a correction. Now, it was down hard today. I call 2.29% hard. And in terms of points, that's 12.5 cents a pound that the market fell down. So it's not a small break, but again, I look for big support in the 522 area. I know that Goldman came out last week and said it doesn't think it can hold these prices. And from where they came out and said that, the market's actually a little bit lower. So give them some credit so far. In the platinum market, you have higher highs, higher lows. You're in an uptrend and you're overbought. And in the DC dollar index, you got the higher highs, higher lows, and you're in a very oversold market. But trying to guess which way it's going to go off whatever the Fed says, that's a folly game. I don't want to play that game. So you might want to go to our website and get all the information that you can from us by just moving your cursor up to the top of your page and then go and follow that. It's at www.iraepstein.com. After these reports come out, I'll start doing special reports again And remember, you in those special reports, you only get to view them if you're not a subscriber a couple of times a year, and then that's it. Then you got to wait another year. And knock on wood, they have been pretty good overall for us. I don't get every one of them right. Nobody does. But I think I'm more right than wrong, and you can judge that yourself when you look at them. In any case, I'm Ira Epstein. You have yourself a great evening, and I will talk to you all at the other updates tonight or first thing in the morning.